Welcome back, my dear students, to the classes of Merchant of Venice. Act 2, Scene 9. Yes, we have reached the last scene of this act. We had already crossed so many U-turns in this story where we have reached the next phase of the story. In this act also, now we will be learning in this particular scene about Aragon. Okay, that fellow who came from Aragon is here as a suitor for Portia. He is in much hurry to select the casket. Let us see what is there in his fate in this casket story. Merchant of Venice, Act 2, Scene 9. Here, in the story, see the scene is happening in Belmont, a room in Portia's house where caskets were placed. Enter Nerissa and a servitor. Servitor means who helps in serving the things or to work what is given to them. Nerissa, quick, quick, I pray thee, draw the curtain straight. The Prince of Aragon hath taken his oath and comes to his election presently. So immediately Nerissa tells that, quick, hurry up. I request to open the curtains which are on the caskets and you just get ready because Aragon is entering here to select because he has finished his oath taking. Flourish of cronets, enter the Prince of Aragon, Portia and their trains. See, trumpet sound, flourish of cronets means the sound which is the music which is given for the welcome of any of the prince who comes there for the selection. Enter the Prince of Aragon. There he comes with Portia and their attendants, means the followers who came with him. Now, Portia. Behold, there stands the casket's noble prince. If you choose that wherein I am contained, straight shall our nuptial rites be solemnized. But if you fail, without more speech, my lord, you must be gone from hence immediately. She tells that, see, there are 3 caskets. In that 3 caskets, in one my portrait is kept. If you select that, directly we will go for nuptial rites, means we will marry and we will be solemnized, means we will be blessed to be life partners. In case if you choose a wrong casket, then you should walk away from here without speaking anything more. Aragon, I am enjoined by oath to observe 3 things. First, never to unfold to anyone which casket it was I chose. Next, if I fail of the right casket, never in my life to woo a maid in way of marriage lastly. If I do fail in fortune of my choice, immediately to leave you and be gone. So Aragon tells that already he has enjoyed, means already he has taken the 3 oaths. What is the first oath here? Not to tell which casket he chose in the lottery of casket. Second, if he fails to choose the right casket, then he should not marry anyone throughout his life. Third, if he chooses wrong casket, he should go away from there immediately without speaking anything. Portia. To these injunctions, every one doth swear that comes to hazard for my worthless self. So she tells that whoever he comes here as a suitor, he should take this oath for my worthless self, means for my sake. For a lady to win, anyone comes should take this oath, should abide by this oaths. Now, Aragon is very total determined and also he was well prepared mentally. So he tells that, see here, this is the longest extract now we will be learning. And so have I addressed me fortune now. To my heart soap, gold, silver and bracelet. See, he starts by telling that I have agreed. Whatever is there in my fortune and whatever favors me, let me see that I may win you. Because today terms may be in my favor and I may win you and marry you. He goes on, already moves ahead towards the 3 caskets. Gold, silver and bracelet. Who chose them must give and hazard all he hath. See, he started from the bracelet. He tells that whoever chooses me should lose everything means risk everything. You shall look fairer ere I give or hazard. So he tells that lead must appear as attractive before means I should risk whatever I have and I should expect. Why shall I have this? He questions himself here. I give or hazard. I should give or I should lose. I should lose for this base lead which looks attractive but not at all attractive, which is quite dull. What says the golden chest? Ha, let me see. Who chose me shall gain what many men desire. So he reads that casket meaning also. Whatever was inscribed on that, he reads that sentences. What many men desire? That many may be meant by the full multitude. He tells that this word many may be for that foolish majority men who come to choose Portia and they choose this attractive casket. That chose by show. Only by the external appearance they choose and they lose and go. Because they are foolish and attracted towards gold. Not learning more than the fond eye doth teach, which prays not to the interior. But like the martlet builds in the weather on the outward wall, even in the force and road of casualty, I will not choose that many men desire, because I will not jump with common spirits. And rank me with the barbarous multitude, why then to thee, thou silver treasure house? See here, he tells that I will not fall into the trap of many men who fall foolishly by the external appearance, who just get attracted. See children, there is a bird, very small bird called martlet, and that martlet bird builds the nest outside the wall. Its children means its small birdlings, small chicks will be inside the nest, somewhere inside the rocks and all. But to attract the attacking birds, what martlet bird does? Outward appearance, it builds a big nest, mesh-shaped nest, just to attract where no eggs, no chicks are found. Same way, he compares the golden chest to the martlet bird's nest and tells that it is just to attract the common man spirit. Okay, only to attract the common man spirit. I will not fall into this. Why then to thee, thou silver treasure house? Tell me once more, what title thou dost bear? Who chose me shall get as much as he deserves. And he reads that silver casket inscribed words and tells that whoever chooses will get only what he deserves. And well said too. He gets attracted to these words and he accepts that yes, this casket is speaking in favor of his thoughts. For who shall go about to cause fortune and be honorable without the stamp of merit? Let none presume to wear an undeserved dignity. Oh, that estates, degrees, and offices were not derived corruptly, and that clear honor were purchased by the merit of the wearer. He tells that, yes, this silver is like whatever I have now in my life. Offices means the power, the wealth, the princehood, whatever I have now is because I deserve. Not because that I earned or I got from somewhere. It is what I have deserved because I am a rich prince. I am a rich prince. And even he tells that how many then should cover that stand bare? How many be commanded that command? And how much low peasantry would be gleaned from the true seed of honor? And how much honor picked from the chaff and ruin of the times? To be new varnished well, but to my choice, who chose me shall get as much as he deserves. He even tells that how many people should cover their head when I walk around because I deserve the honor. I am born to get what all I deserve. And he tells that I am such honorable that nobody can separate me from my ranks. Chaff and ruin of the times means I am just chosen to get whatever I deserve. Again he reads, who chose me shall get as much as he deserves. I will assume desert. Give me a key for this and instantly unlock my fortunes here. Immediately what he does, I shall take up this. Whatever I deserve, I will get. I deserve Portia, he means to tell. And get me the key. I want to open it and check with my fortune. He opens the silver casket. Okay? Now the casket is opened. Suddenly, there silence prevailed. Silence prevailed because you all know that he did not choose the right casket. Too long a pause for which you find there. There was a silence because what's here? The portrait of a blinking idiot. There was a photo or a portrait which was blinking. Means it was blinking one eye. Okay, blinking idiot. Presenting me a schedule. I will read it. There was something written on it. How much unlike art thou to Portia? How much unlike my hopes and my deservings? Who chose me shall have as much as he deserves. Did I deserve no more than a fool's head? Is that my price? Are my deserts no better? See, Aragon was quite very confused and he was very upset to see the blinking or goggling eye. He reads the note and in that it was written, how unlike Portia is this portrait? How dissimilar what you have chosen it. You have chosen the wrong casket and you got whatever you deserved. You are a fool and you got a idiot's blinking portrait. And he questions himself, is that my price? Only this much I deserve? Not more than this? Portia, to offend and judge are distinct offices and of opposed natures. She tells that to commit an offense and to pass judgment are two different things. And you just passed the judgment and it is opposite to your thoughts. That's it. Aragon, what is here? Aragon reads something was kept in that, a letter. He reads that the fire 7 times tried this, 7 times tried that judgment is, that did never chose amiss. Some there be that shadows kiss, such have but a shadow's bliss. There be fools alive, I wish, silvered over, and so was this. I will ever be your head, so be gone, you are sped. Still more fool I shall appear by the time I linger here. With one fool's head I came to woo. But I go away with 2. Sweet adieu. I'll keep my oath patiently to bear my worth. See, he reads whatever was written on that. It was written about silver. Silver is burnt 7 times on fire, okay, to judge its purity. But many a times people forget the shadow. You know, children, silver turns black when we wear it. It loses its purity. Okay, the letter reads that you just took the casket on its shadow. You did not understand its originality. And for selecting a right casket, you need a silver hair, that is wise head. You are a foolish young head. You did not understand the disguised covering of silver. You are a fool and you got a fool's head. And he answers himself for this letter. If I stand here, I came with 1 fool's head, now I will go with 2 fool's head. Means already we are too foolish, it will increase my foolishness if I stand here. So he tells that I don't want to be a bigger fool more than what I am now. So he tells that I will keep my promises, and he tells that I will suffer with patience whatever is there in my fate. And from there he walks away. Exit Aragon with his train. Means he walks away with his followers. Portia. Thus had the candle singled the moth. Oh, these deliberate fools. When they do choose, they have the wisdom by their wit to lose. So Portia tells that another moth is burnt in the candle fire. You know that lights, that worms which come near the candle, they actually die, right? Because they are foolish enough to come near the fire. Same way, another moth is burnt. Moth is compared to Aragon. Now, why do they select so foolishly when they don't have any wisdom? And she tells that a suitor needs superficial knowledge to select the right casket. Nerissa. The ancient saying, in no hearsay, hanging and weaving goes by destiny. She tells that, Nerissa tells that there is one old saying, hanging, the means that being hanged and being married to a wife are decided by fate. Means whatever, the marriages are done in heavens. It should come by destiny, by fate. Portia, come, draw the curtain, Nerissa. She tells Nerissa that please close the curtains. Enter a servant. Meanwhile, they were moving out of that casket room. A servant enters. Where is my lady? Portia, here. What would my lord? She asked, what is there? What do you want, my lord? With respect, she is treating the servant. Understood? My lord means, what word you have brought for me? Tell me. Servant, madam, there is alighted at your gate a young Venetian, one that comes before to signify the approaching of his lord, from whom he bringeth sensible regrets, to wit, besides comments and courtesy beneath. Breath, gifts of rich value, yet I have not seen so likely an ambassador of love. A day in April never comes so sweet, to show how costly summer was at hand. At this fourth spurrer comes before his lord. He tells that, madam, at gate there is one servant from Venetian, means Venice. He has brought a good message for you from his master, with some gifts also. Very rich gifts he has brought with high value. I have never seen any of the suitor coming in this style and in this way to participate in the caskets. I think it is a beautiful message that has come in summer. It is so pleasant to see such a good messenger with so much of love and affection with rich gifts. Portia, no more, I pray thee. I have afraid, thou wilt say anon, he is some keen to thee. Thou spendest such high day within praising him. Come, come, Nerissa, for I long to see quick Cupid's post that comes so mannerly. Nerissa, Bassanio, Lord love, is if they will it be. So Portia tells that, speak no more, I request. I fear that you would say he is your relative. Means you are appreciating so much that he is such a kind of messenger. Don't speak much about him. Now you may start lying also, don't want. Now let me go and see that is he suitable for the praises what you gave. Let me see who comes. Messenger of Cupid means messenger of God of love. Let me see who comes with such a decent manner. Nerissa, Bassanio, Lord love, if they will it be. Hopefully it is Bassanio. May it be Bassanio, O God of love. Please make this wish come true. Nerissa tells this and both walk out from there to receive the person who came there. With this, the scene comes to an end. Okay, with this, the scene comes to an end. Now, in next scene, we will be seeing what is happening in Venice. And the Venice scene is quite very interesting, where we will learn about the Antonio's ships and also many more things which are happening in that side of the world. Now, it was Bassanio's messenger only. We all know. He was on the way to reach Venice. Before he could reach, he was on the way to reach Belmont. Before he could reach, he sent his servant. Let us see what is awaited in the next scene in next class. Thank you.